Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. I watched a little sort of, there was like a little panel of fighters. There was Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri, Tim Bradley. I might have missed someone out. Who I missed out? Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, they were talking about Ryan Garcia, and they were saying, is the fight going to go ahead? I've made a video about this. I've said, no, I don't think it should go ahead, but it might well because DAZN is still promoting it. And I think even though the WBC have advised the New York State Athletic Commission to do a mental health assessment of Garcia because of his bizarre behaviour and what's coming out of his mouth, it looks like the fight might well go ahead. I mean, I don't know. I still think it will be cancelled, but I could be wrong. Because when money's concerned, anything goes. But there was something that Malignaggi said that I thought was quite interesting. I think it might have been Tim Bradley or another guy, the other guy whose name I can't remember. I wish I could remember his name. I can't. But they talked about having sympathy and empathy for Ryan Garcia because of what he's obviously going through. And Malignaggi took umbrage with this. He said, no, I'm sick to death of hearing about this. This kid's got, millions of dollars. He's, a good-looking kid. He's got some talent. But he's not living the life. And he's talking about Jesus and, trying to sort of claim the moral high ground about how wonderful he is. And at the same time, his behaviour suggests he's, a very unwell young man. And Malignaggi, he talked a lot about, that's such a beta thing to do, all this alpha beta crap. That's shite to me, but but I did kind of agree with Malignaggi in one thing, and that is that if you simply heap attention on someone and make excuses for them, saying, well, he's got mental health issues, well, it's behavioural, well, it's this, it's that. You're basically sort of enabling that person to do or to carry on with their negative behaviour. In other words, you have to put boundaries in place, and you have to say, is this person compos mentis? Do they have mental capacity? In which case they are making decisions. So if Ryan Garcia decides to drink alcohol, that's his decision. He is of complete stable mind. He's making a decision. If he decides to smoke weed, he's making a decision. And I absolutely agree with Malignaggi on that point. The question, of course, is how bad is Garcia's mental health, which is why I think the assessment is so important. Because if he really is losing the plot, and some of the conspiratorial nonsense that's come out of his mouth does suggest he's losing touch with reality, if he's being honest, he could be faking it, he could be trolling it. All these things are possibilities. But that's for the assessment to decide. Is this a behavioural thing? Is it a mental health thing? Does he have a personality disorder? Because there are many of those, many little tags that people put on you. If someone's walking around thinking they can fly, or that they're Napoleon Bonaparte, or that they can turn coal into gold, and they genuinely believe that, then probably they're suffering from some quite serious mental health issues. But if they are, like I say, if they have mental capacity, then they're actually choosing to do stuff, in which case we can sort of have sympathy for somebody who is making those poor decisions, or we can perhaps maybe try and empathise as to why they're making those decisions. Are they suicidal? But if that's not the case and they're just trying to make an excuse for what is essentially destructive and bad behaviour, then we have to put our boundaries in place. We can't simply say, well, poor him. It's like the alcoholic thing, pour me another drink. At some point, you got to say, no. Now, where does Garcia fall into this category? Well, which category does he fall into? Where is he on that little spectrum between those who are just being destructive and looking for other people to bail them out and making excuses? And one of Garcia's excuses seems to be Jesus, or is he genuinely losing the plot? Because, of course, mental health illness is a very real thing. In which case, if he is losing the plot, what's done it? Is it, I don't know, is it the booze, the weed? I don't know how much he drinks and how much weed he smokes. They're both depressants, so he's not going to feel great about anything. Self-belief, self-worth, and so on will always go south when you're dealing with that sort of thing. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about Garcia? This is sort of like a follow-up to that previous video I did where I thought that I was saying the fight should be cancelled. Do you agree with Malignaggi that there is, and I do agree to, that when he says, the mental health card gets played too much nowadays, absolutely agree with that, because people, it's kind of an insult to people who have genuine mental health issues, of which there are unfortunately many. When you just make an excuse, oh, my behaviour is bad, I chose the easy thing that I wanted to do instead of the thing I didn't want to do, but the thing that I knew was the right idea. Instead, I punked out and chose the self-indulgent, the self-obsessed pathway, instead of doing the good thing. So there is definitely too much of that goes on, too much of this appeasing, too much of this enabling that goes on. But my question to you is, does Ryan Garcia fall into that category, or is he genuinely mentally unwell? In which case, he probably belongs in a psychiatric hospital. But I don't know. You tell me your opinion. Again, I don't pretend to have any sort of inside information. I'm not really privy to anything at all. I just read probably what like you guys do. But let me know your opinion. If you're new to this channel and you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. And also hit the like button. And thank you for your time as always. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.